Hello, welcome to Kajo's Consultants. I'm your facilitator, Joshua, and today I will be taking you through how you can develop online or offline data collection tool in Kobo Toolbox or ODK, also known as Open Data Kit. So Kobo Toolbox is a free open source tool for mobile data collection. This tool allows you to collect data in the field using mobile devices like mobile and phones and tablets, also with your computers when you are in the field. By the end of this session, you should have known how to create Kobo or ODK account using www.kobotoolbox.org. Also know how to can build online forms through the Add Question tab. We also know how you can group some set of questions or based on different sections or category. Also tell you can understand keep logic or the validation criteria that exist when you are developing your tool. And just to explain a little bit on that, skip logic. This is an instance whereby you have come about some questions which tell you that for this question, if you mark yes, maybe you should skip to a certain question, or if you mark no, you should skip to another question or a different question. We also learn how you can save the form and preview the form. Also, how you can deploy the form and share the link with your respondents if it is a quick data collection that you like to take. And also how you can configure the data collection tool in your Kobo or ODK app in the phone. To get started with our first objective, how can we create account which you will want to use to develop your online or offline data collection tool? So for that, you should visit your browser. For this case, I will be using Chrome. So this is our Chrome. So under new tab, we can create a new tab here. We're going to type www.kobotoolbox.org. Then you can click on the link, or you can simply press the enter key on your keyboard. So once you have done that, this new page will load and this page will be displayed. So you can scroll downwards until you reach where we have this section where we have get started. This is always the best option to use for future logins. So I'm going to click on create an account. So once your page has loaded, so for this page, you can write your name, organization. You can use Kajo's Consultants username here. So that will be my username. So email, then sector, you can choose whichever sector that suits you. So I can choose the environment. Then country, Kenya. Then mail. It can choose a password. The same password, I can also repeat it here. Then click on create account. So this one will now tell you that account has been created. Thanks for creating a Kobo Toolbox account. Please click the activation link in the email just sent to you. So you can go back to the email which you used to create this particular activity. Just load it, then you will find an email has been sent with the support, activate your Kobo Toolbox account. Thanks for signing up with Kobo Toolbox. Then confirm. So you can open this link. So if you click on this link, find this one here. This is the tool that I'll be using for this particular exercise with an informed consent section, a number of questions which I would like to use for this. Just before we get there, let me tell you a little bit of some of the options that we have here. So when you want to start creating your tool, go to new. So you click on new. So once you click on new, you'll find all these options here. So building from scratch, that is when you completely don't have any tool available to upload user template. This one will be available when you already have a template that you have developed for uploading. Can upload also an XLS form. This one is already, if you have an XLS form that you already have, just want to upload it on this platform. Can also import an XLS form via URL. That is, if you have already developed a form and you have a link which you generated, you can easily come and have it here. So for our case, we are going to build our form from scratch. So we click on build from scratch. Title of our project, maybe you can choose to call it climate change. Then show description, maybe we can have climate. Sector, we can still maintain the one that we selected earlier, that is the environment. Country, we can still maintain Kenya as we edit earlier. So you can check this for so that you can help people improve this by sharing the sector and country. Then click on here where we have create project. So once you create that project, it will load and it will now take you to this other section. So it is now at this section where you will start creating your online data collection tool. And as I indicated earlier, you have the tool which will now want to upload. Here we have it in Word. We like to have it of online where we can generate a link and even have it in our mobile phone. So if we go back here now, for your first question, if you want to have this form, you'll find this plus here. So simply click on this additional sign or this plus, and it will direct you to where you should add the question. So once you type there, our questionnaire begins with an informed consent section. So you can easily copy this, just right click, then have the copy. Once you've copied, you go back to where your tool is, where you are developing your tool, and you can paste that question there. You can click on add question, where we have add question here. Click on add question. So once you click on add question, this new dialog box will appear with so many options. So here we have select one. Select one simply means when you have a different set of questions, which you are limited to only choosing only one among the many answers or options that you are given. Then you have select many, simply means when you have a question that is multiple choice, you can select more than one question. Text form simply means that will be an open-ended question which the respondents are allowed to type give as many options or information as they wish or they feel. So that one is always in form of a text, or they can always write whichever information that is required there, as we will see during the process of this interview. Then we have number. Number normally as self-explanatory, that is when we'll have we type in the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you choose number, you cannot type any text related. You're only limited to typing numbers alone. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have decimals. This happens mostly with the currency values or amount in euros, Kenya shillings, where you can have 10 shillings and 50 cents. Or 1 million and 90 cents. Then date 6 September 2021. Then we have time 10:24 p.m. Then date and time is where you now want to choose date and time appearing on this same place. Then point, this one we normally use to collect the geo point or the geographical coordinates of a location. Photo, this allows to collect a photo. Maybe after each set of data collection, take a photo, then you upload there. Audio, this allows to record information in audio form. Then video, you have that video form. All the way you have note. So note, this is where you want to give more information that is related to a particular question, but respondents are not required to respond to that or to answer that. For example, for the section of informed consent, you don't really want your respondents to maybe give an answer to that question. Then barcode, a code whereby you can easily scan. These are called that can be, you can scan and that particular information can be given in that platform. You can also calculate some information by inserting a function whereby you have even a 2 plus 2, 3 plus 3. Then you have hidden. This will mostly deal with passwords whereby you can find in many cases you can show your password, you can hide your password. Then you have file. This one you can upload a particular file, can be in terms of PDF or even Word document or Excel. The first question was informed consent. And this is simply going to be a node because this one, no respondent or no information we are asking for anybody to fill in. So this one you can easily have it as a node. Then we can add another one here and have our informed consent statement. The way it was can only also be going to be a node because we are not also responding to that. So we have here, we click on a node. So go to the next question, you click on add. So we look for our second question here. So the second question will now be focusing on background information. And now it is under this second section B, we have respondents and demographic information as we go downwards. So our first question for under background information is interviewer's name. So we select that and have that interviewer's name. Right click, then we copy this. We copy and then we come here and paste that information. So interviewer's name. So if you have for interviewer's name, this one will simply require you among the many options that we have here. There will be rest of the enumerators will be keying in the name of the respondent. So that one will not be any other thing but in form of a text. So they can easily type. So another question that we have is date and time of the interview. So you can remember, you can copy, paste, or you can just come and type date and time of the interview. Date and time of the interview. So it is the date and time of the interview. Come add question, then we look at the date and time because this as one question. Another question, click on the addition sign here. To add another question, we go to village. Which village? What is the village name for that question? So we can simply select village. Come here, paste village, add question. Then also it is a text because the enumerators will be keying in the name of that village. Our last question for that section, we go to coordinates of the household. So remember coordinates are in form of points, or you have this is where we have the latitudes and the longitudes. So we give that coordinates of the household. Among the many options that we have here, we said that coordinates are given in form of geopoints, where the latitude, longitudes, precision, that is in terms of accuracy, and the altitude will be recorded. So we click on point, and that will give us the latitudes and longitudes. So these are all the questions that we have for section A. So how can we now group these questions so that we have section A, section B? So you simply come and on your keyboard, look at where your keyboard is and press on the control key. Once you have pressed on the control key, you can move with your cursor. And question by until you have a star like this, the star like this, which is now written here in my screen. Once you have this car, you put it along this line on your left hand side. Then you hit them one by one. So you can click on that. You'll see that a color is having like a blue light color, turning for the question, whichever question that you select. Again, you come to the next question, you click on that. See, it's turning to a blue color will be appearing there. Also, you go to the third one, you click on that. Next one, you click. So until, so those are the questions that you have for section A. So once you have selected all of them, you can now leave your control key and come up here. Here we have the second option here. Here we have where the form will be previewed. These are where we can create the group. So click on the create group with selected questions icon. Once we click on that, we'll have our name here appearing as a group. So we can edit this and give it a name that is appearing on our questionnaire here. So we have section A, the way it is, you can take it and have it as section A, focusing on background information. So we can come here now and have it there, section A, background information. Once you have that, you can easily now collapse all these questions. That is just to check if all our questions have been captured under that group. So if you click on that arrow, all your questions will be released down here. If you click on this, you can collapse them to that group. So once you have collapsed them, you can now go to a different group now by clicking on the addition plus as we indicated earlier. Then go to section B. So for our section B, we have respondents demographic information. So here we have sex of the respondents and even the age. So we can come for our question. First question is focusing on sex of the respondents. So click on sex. So we type sex of the respondent there, then click on add question. So once someone can be male, female. So we click on select one. So here we'll be selecting one, except for the special cases that we have. So number one will be male. The number two here will be female. So once we have that male and female, we come to this other section of the right hand side of that section. Then double click on where we have automatic. If you double click, it will select the automatic. Then for male, we'll have it 1. Then for female, we can have it as 2. So you double click, it will appear that way. Then under since we have this question, we can collapse that to have it that way. So you see, we have male and female. So we go to another set of question, another question under that section. And we have age in years. So here, respondents will be typing in their age in years. So you can have age. So age, you can give it a number or you can give it a text. So text allows you to type both alpha and numeric bit of it. So you can just even give it a text so that you can even type 20 years old. It can allow for that. So that is done that way. If you want to delete, let me just repeat that. You can still delete that question and add it afresh. If you click on the addition sign, then come and type age, add question, Then give it a text so that someone can even type both numbers and even the alphabet that exists on that keyboard. So the next question that we have under that section, we have education level. So we have education levels. Simply come here and type education levels, then add question. This one, someone come the highest level of education. You can have it highest level of education. So highest level of education, someone can only select one. So to select one, we have several options here. Number one, we have no formal education. You can copy that, bring it here. No formal education. Number two, as it appears on our tool, you have primary, secondary, tertiary going downwards. So we have primary. Then you click on this one because we had only two there. So you can click on this sign to give you the third one, secondary. Secondary. Fourth one, we can have tertiary. Then we have adult learning program. So fifth one. So someone or the respondents will be choosing any other option there. So we have can paste that learning program. So here for this case, you have the options or the values available ranging from number 1 to number 5. So there we can have number 1. Simply double click on the automatic number 2. Here number 3 and number 4. Then number 5. So you can also collapse that one. Look for the next question. That appear main economic activities is our next question. So economic activities. So it is main, so someone will only be limited to choosing one. Add. So select one. Now those who practice agriculture, those who are traders, trading. Then you have those who practice tea house, alcohol production, tea. Then next is alcohol production. Then those who are practicing others. So here we have others. It is indicating that the person should specify the other form of main source of production. So we can add that and have the others part. So for this other, the person will be specifying. I will also show you how you can deal with the equation which are for others. So we can have that as number 1. This is number 2, 3, 4, and 5. So those are added there. And remember for this question, we have a question. So in case the person select others, the person will have to specify. So we can have a question here which will allow this person to specify. So we can indicate specify other form, specify other form of or specify other economic activity that you practice. So we can add that question and other as a text, because for this question the person will be typing their responses. So we have all these values given as that. So as you go, you will also be cross-checking how these values relate with this other. I would like to introduce another concept here called the skip logic. So meaning for skip logic, to help the numerators not confuse or not get mixed up in the field when they are collecting data, they can easily not get that mixed up in the field. So the person for under main economic activity, someone can choose to select agriculture, another one can choose a trading. But what if the person's or the respondent's main economic activity is not in this group? Then he or she will be giving information on others. So for this case, now we can come here and have some setting for specify other economic activity, so that only the respondent who marked other will be seeing this question. So for example, anybody who mark agriculture or trading will not see this question, but only for someone who marked this who marked the others question. So we come here to settings. Here on top here, settings, click on settings. Once you click on settings, this other option can appear. So under settings, you can always select mark questions as either mandatory response, so that the person must answer the question before you proceed to the next. But that one, mostly the research doesn't work that way, because respondents can withdraw at any stage, or there are some information that they can feel like not to be. So we want to skip a logic so that only people who marked others will see that question. So you click on skip logic here, then you come to add a condition. If you add condition, you'll find this place or this section here that will appear. This question will only be displayed if the following conditions apply. So you click on select questions from the list. Then the question that we want to have a skip logic for is for main economic activities. So specify other economic activity will only appear if the main economic activity for that person was, just scroll downward a little bit, if the person main economic activity was others. So for the specify other economic activity, this question will only apply if the person marked main economic activities as others. Then you can easily now close with this X and go to the next set of question. So we check on our next set of question. We have another section. So for that section, those are the only questions that we have, and we can come and have this as section B. We can copy that, section B, then come to our tool here. Let's collapse all of this so that our working area, working space is not that much congested. So for this question, just like as I indicated earlier, when we are doing section A, press on your control key, then bring this cursor to the left side of where the questions are. So here we can hit that, see the color is turning, have that, click on that, click on this, and click on that again. So if you click on that, you can now come, I hope you have selected all the question, can now come to this group here. Yeah, you have create group with selected questions. So we can create that group, and this was section B. So respondent demographic information. I can collapse it that way to confirm if all the questions are there. So we go to another section. The next section is knowledge, attitude, and current practices. So the first question there is, have you heard about climate change? So we select that question and come to where our Kobo is. Click on that and type that, have you heard about climate change? Then we have add question. So this person is either, have you heard about climate? Is either yes or no. So you click on that and have this as yes and have number 2 as no. This one will be 1, this one will be 2. Then you can collapse that question the same way we did to the others. Then come to the next question under that section. If yes, so this question is telling us, if yes, mark all that describe your understanding. And if no, there's a question here, go to question 10, which meaning if someone will mark no here, we'll be proceeding to the question 10, the next question. So if yes, mark all that describe your understanding. So we come and have that question, have it in our Kobo, it and paste it. If yes, mark all that describe your understanding. So we have the option that were given here, mark all that describe your understanding. So the person here is given an option of selecting as many responses or as many options as he or she wishes. So we can select many because the question is a multiple choice. So our first option here is, someone can say understanding is a prolonged drought. So we select on that. Reduction rainfall is number 2. Prolonged drought, we mark that as number 1. And next one is reduction in rainfall. Reduction in rainfall. That one we mark as number 2. Number 3. Number 3 here we come and cause flooding and reduction of crop yield. Cause flooding. This cause flooding. Then reduction, this is number 3, sorry, number 3. This is number 4. So we go to the next one. Questionnaire is here, increase in temperature. And pick that, increase in temperature. And have, this is number 5. Now number 6 is it caused by deforestation. We have so many responses here. Next one is cause water shortage. So we have cause water shortage. This is 6. This is 7. Number 8. We have automatic. Double click here, we change that to number 8. Number 9. And cause diseases, then we have others. We have others, so here others someone can specify. So let me just take you back a little bit. Now we had here how Have you heard about climate change? Then if yes, mark all that describe your understanding. So meaning this question should only be displayed if someone marked yes for this question. So therefore, let's collapse that and let's have a condition for this so that anybody who marks the no will not see the next question, which only require those one who marked yes to fill it in. So as it indicated, you click on the settings. Once you click on the setting, this dialog box here will appear. Then you click on skip logic. Once you click on skip logic, you can add a condition. Then this means that this question will only appear if have you heard about climate change is marked yes. So you come here and mark that condition. Have you heard about climate change is yes. So that is only those who mark. If you mark it yes, you should see the next question, which asks you if yes, mark all that describe your understanding. Then you do this X here to cancel. That is the condition that we have. In our next question, there are a part for others. So if you have others here, this one can also tell you specify other or others. Add question. That one someone will text, will type in. Then we come to settings. Just as I indicated, the same I indicated earlier. Click on skip logic, then add a condition. Select questions that are there. If yes, all mark that describe your understanding, then the person come here and choose others. Others. So meaning the question specify other should only appear if yes, mark all that describe your understanding was marked as others. The same way it is there. So you can close that and add a different section here. Let's look for our next question from the questionnaire. So have you heard of the term? Now that is our next question. So have you heard of the term? Have you heard of the term climate small scale agriculture? Then this one also can be yes or no. You have yes. Then you have no. Automatic. Have one that is number 2. Can collapse that way. Go to the next question. Our next question was saying, if yes, can you explain to me what it is? So if yes, can you explain to me what it is? We copy that question and bring it here. What it is, then we have some answers. Have you heard of the term climate small scale agriculture? Yes or no? So if someone might, can you explain to me what it is? Someone can say it is a minimum tillage or tillage. Select one. That can say that one means crop rotation. So we can have that as crop rotation. Number 3. Others can have it as a soil protection or some best seeds. Best seeds. Some other respondents can have it as downhill and uphills. So those one, then we can call this as one 2, 3, 4, 5. We have some other sets of responses. Some can have it as terraces. Terraces, then control weeds. Come here, and that one. Terraces. Next is control weeds. Next, just type all the rest one that we have. Best use of agriculture inputs. The best use of agriculture inputs. Go down, and another one. Spacing between seedlings. Next, we have nuclear. Then fire managements. Next is fire management. Then others. That one will now require a person to specify. So this one have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So once you have all our questions in that manner, can collapse that and do another one. For those who select others, can specify others. Specify other climate. Specify other climate, smart small scale agriculture. Click on add question, then we can have that as a text. So let's still check on, so we have the same section. You have a question here which are now dealing on the table. These are what we call the levels of agreement or scales of nation, or the Likert scale. One is a strongly disagree, marked as SD. 2 is disagree. 3 is neutral, marked as N. 4 agree as A, and 5 strongly agree, marked as 5. We'll have a question there. It's a Likert scale. Going to do some ratings, number 1 to number 5. So if you rate that, we're going to have our first question in that table. You see the table appearing there. So you have our statements and you have strongly agree. So our first question is here. You have attended a training on climate smart small scale agriculture. Copy that and bring it here. Yeah, I have it there. Then this one we have our first option is going to be strongly disagree. Delete that. disagree. I'm going to mark as 1. So I'm going to mark as 2. This is going to be disagree. So number 2. Number 2 is disagree. Then we click on this additional sign toward the third option that we had as neutral. This is neutral. That is number 3. Number 4. Disagree. Number 4 is agree. Then number 5. Strongly agree. Strongly agree. Yeah, that's number 5. So you can come and add here. So once you have done these other sections of cutting or the where you have the level of agreements or levels of measurements here, you have strongly. So this one will only do it once, and then now subsequent questions will now follow. So our second question, we enter our question where is so we go down one and add the third question. This one, this other section of where we have 1 to 5 will be automatic for all the questions that we have. So if we delete that and bring in our third question from the table. So as you can see, we are just arranging them based on how they are on the table. So we have all those there. Once we have that part there, we do it the same way. Then the next one, which is now the last one in our table. Control. So we have all our questions the way they are there. So you can also collapse that and move to the next question. Our next question is indicating what is your communication preference. You can copy that as well and add the question down here. Communication preference, and we have all the options that you have been given here that you can choose from. So through meetings, you can choose that. So preference, someone can have one preference there, can have that. The next one. Number 2, through awareness raising events. Can be on number 2, number 3. Through newspapers and through television. Through newspaper, through television. Through video shows. And through video shows. The next one is through posters, through organized household visits. So we go to through posters. The last one, through household visits. It is here. So we can have that. Then have this, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and number 7. So once you have all those, you can now collapse them and go to the next question here. Our last question is, have you ever shared the knowledge on appropriate climate change adaptation and mitigation strategies with other communities in your country? That can be a yes or no. So you can come here and select one. Yes. This is a no. That one you can mark as one. This is two. Just the same way you have been doing it all along. Then now our last bit. Now, thank you for participating in this study, and we indicated that this question which does not require any response can have them as a note. So this one will appear as a note, thanking the respondents for participating in the study. So we can have it there. Thank you for participating in this study. Add question and have it as a note. As a note down there. But all these other questions were the question that we did before we arrived at the thank you section were for section C, knowledge and attitude and current practices. So we can copy that and have our group. The same way, you hold your control key, then select from there. The thank you we are not selected because it is out of this question. It will be separate. Click on that, have that, have that. Can scroll upwards. Have all those questions that fall in that category. Select all the questions here. Then leave our control key. Select, yeah, all of them. Then we create a group. Once we create a group, that group will appear there. Then we delete and have the right group name. So you can now see all my questions. We have the three sections: section A, section B, and section C. And all the questions in there. So once you are done with this, you can always remember to save what you have worked on at each stage. So we can click on save. We save that until you see where we have successfully updated. So this data has now been successful. We can come here and preview the form and see if our form is appearing the same way you want it to appear. In this here, we can preview the form and you see the tool name or the project we are doing maybe was on climate change, and we have our informed consent here. Hello, my name is Joe. I'm working with Organization X in learning more about climate change, agriculture, and poverty alleviation in your area. I appreciate your participation in this survey. The interview will last for 10 to 15 minutes. The information we provide will be confidential. Participation in this survey is voluntary and you are free to withdraw at any stage of this if you don't feel comfortable. However, I hope you will participate in this survey since your views are important. Before we begin, let me know if you have any question about this survey. So if they have any question, maybe you can note them elsewhere, or you can respond to them, or you can maybe just add something below there for any other additional information. Maybe when you go back to the table, we can have that section for any additional information just below that. So you can see section A, we have background information. I have the interviewee's name. You can always type there Joshua, date. You can mark the date. You can see, you can easily mark the date and time also. You can mark the time. Village, you can type maybe village A. If you are in a set of villages, coordinates of the household, you can always click, take this using this option here. And this can always record the coordinates for that section. Maybe you'll see that when we now be having the real data collection form. Then section B, you have responded demographic information. Age, you can type the age there. Level of education, can type any level of education that you have there. Economic activity, if you practice agriculture, and then we have, and you can also just test this, in that if you find that if I don't click other, the question that I indicated, other economic activity is not appearing. So to test that, you can click on other, and you find this question appearing. If you don't click on other, it is not appearing. Knowledge, attitude, also we have this. Also you find maybe that one can be yes. Can say prolonged drought. So as it suit you. Our term climate, maybe you can say yes, maybe can mark that. So specify other climate. This one will not assign a condition, so we can know that there was no condition for this. It can go back and assign a condition so that it's only for those who will mark others. So for this question, can easily type strongly agree, can agree, neutral, can agree there, can strongly agree, you can mark, and you can find all the information here. This one can say through meetings. This one you can say yes, and you find the end is here. Yeah, so that is how it is. There I can now go back to my tool and maybe add another section here for any additional question from the respondent. Any additional information. From the respondents. So this one can have in form of a text if they will be just giving their information in a statement manner. And this information, this question, maybe I can decide to bring it here by simply using the touchpad at the left, specify other climate. This one, you you can come and assign a condition for this. So skip logic, add a condition. We have specify other climate, can carry the question. Can you explain to me what it is? That one, and the person maybe marked others, so we can have that. Simply close it an X here, we indicated earlier, and you have all your information there. So we can save this form. Once you have saved on this form, you can now easily use this X to close it. Once you have saved, use this X here to close, then it will download. It will be even sometimes to load, deploy the form. So before you deploy the form, you cannot proceed further and collect data and submit to this platform. So you have to deploy your form first. Is when you can now collect, or you can share the link with others to collect the data and submit their data here. So you click on deploy the form. So we'll find down here you have deploying to Kobo card. Then you should take the form has been deployed. So deployed form, you can copy this link. If you copy the link, you can easily now come even to your WhatsApp and have a team of enumerators, share with them the link. You can therefore use your link on your phone to get all that you need. You can easily come to my WhatsApp, collect data, click on to the link. Now I have the information here on my phone. Can tap in the information that I need. date. Here the date is set. Date and time is there set. Village, can say I'm in village B. Coordinates, I can easily click on that and load my coordinates here. As you can see, select information I give, fill in the data, climate change, then prolonged drought, can say yes for that, soil protection, and come here and mark all these informations. So means let us assume I'm the enumerator for this particular, so these are the information of the respondents that I'm getting. If there is no any other information, can click maybe there none, and maybe can click here on the submit. So with there, can submit the form, then I can click on OK. So once you have clicked on OK, we'll find down up here, it should read 0. If it reads in here, it means your form has not been submitted. So you have that OK. Can make several, can make another response. Say my name is now, the second person is of course. Maybe I collect this data collect at the same date, but maybe now different time as it is. Can say this one is coming from village C. Coordinates, can click on that and proceed to the next one. The person now female, aged 20. Highest level of education, can say secondary. The agriculture, she or practice agriculture. Maybe no. Out of time climates not can, then can mark as it appears there. Then you have all these responses marked. Click on submit. This place will change to 0. So if I decide still to come back here, can you still even use laptop? Can have that as candidate X as the name of that person. So we click on the date, time, we have that one. So we can say they are coming from village A. And then we come and pick on the latitude and longitudes. You can see it is picking there. And have this as a male. So this will also help you generate and soon do a video now when for this longitude and latitude that you have collected. How can you now generate a map from that? Will be our next topic of discussion next time. Then age here. Now these are 25 years tertiary trading. Then yes, for maybe reduction of crop yield. Though some of the multiple reasons person might have given. Then soil protection. Just this information. We read them out. Have you demanded any support through media or climate smart? Have you demanded any support from or marks agree, disagree? That one also disagree. Then information, reference through television. Have you ever shared knowledge? Yes. Any other additional information from the respondents? Then can have increase financial allocation, climate change reduction practices, change mitigation practices. So once you have that, click on submit data, Click OK and check here until it will change to 0. So you can simply click on that, then click OK and give it time to load until it changes to 0. It tells you that the data has been submitted. Once you are done with all, then you can now close the question that we have there. And you can come back to, now you have the climate, the tool here. If you have this tool, you can easily close using this X up here and refresh the page. If you refresh the page, then you see that how many submissions. As you see, we did 2 submissions through our phone and 1 submission through the computer. So we have a total of 3 submissions. So these submissions are now here. So yeah, if we click on that data, you can always click on that table. Then here, I have the summary. Summary here will display that info summary of what we have. We can have the form as it is, this form. You can have the form and you can copy or open it, fill in data or share with others. You have the data section here. You can see the data, the 3 submissions that we have made. You can also come and check on maybe reports. Here report, you see the frequency. For that one is 1. Then you come here and date and time, village, you have village A. So this one will also be doing that. We find if someone wrote A or village, they are the same, but you can change those to either A or maybe village A. When you are doing your data cleaning. Then you have females. Sex, here we have those who failed responded as males are 2, 1 female. Age, you have category. You have those are 20, 40. Highest level of education, you can see the summary is also generated here. And we have all this information. So this information, you can also still download it. So gallery, here simply means if you have any information that you collected, either photo, you can always get in there in form of gallery. I can stand here, there are no photos in this project because we didn't have that section of covering photos. Downloads, you can easily download this data either in form of XLS, where you will have the Excel form, or in form of SPSS. We also have Excel form which are in form of CSV, and we have also SPSS labels. So if you click XLS, we'll have that form in Excel sheet, and you can click on export. If you click on export, we tell you here processing, so you give it time until it processes the data, then you can download. Click on download, the data is downloaded down here. You double click it to open. Double click it to open, it will open the data in form of the Excel sheet. So as we have, so you can find all our data here in form of Excel sheet. Another way that you can have this data is by downloading the ODK or Kobo app in your phone and having the link. So let me go back to my phone. So to download the app in your phone, simply go to where your Play Store or Play Store is. Play Store is here. Click on Play Store, allow it to open, then download the app. The app that we are downloading, we are going to search ODK. ODK latest version, so you can come and install the app. Well, the ODK app has been downloaded, so you can click on open. So we click on open. So we'll have all this form. It will always appear this way if you are first time to download this app. So you can click on settings. Click on settings, this page will be displayed. So if you want now your form to be on your phone, then simply go and click on the URL. If you click on the URL, have your username here, https://kc.kobotoolbox.org/your username. So our username was this is the username that we selected a particular tool. Then we click on OK. So once we click on OK, level everything there. We can come to some other settings, the form management, a blank form update mode. So come to form management, settings, go to form management. Yeah. Then we find a blank form update mode. It's exactly match the server. So we have that. Whenever any change is made to the tool, that is mostly for monitoring and evaluation department, we have this tool which is used from time to time to update on the progress of the project from time to time. So whenever any change is made, that form will be updated automatically after every 15 minutes. So we can have it as that, then come back and click on fill in blank form. Then I find this climate change informed consent. So I can scroll below my name, interviewer's name, you can your name as A, select date, you can select time. Then once you're done, village B, start geopoint, that is when you collect the geographical coordinates of that particular location. You can have your accuracy to about maybe less than 10 meters or even 10 meters, then click on save geopoint. Once you click save on geopoint, you can have your agenda there, 27, adult learning program. Others, you can specify other economic activity that you will do. Have you heard about climate change? Then you fill in all those information, they are there. All this will appear. Can easily fill in at the comfort of your phone. Can fill passively swiping. You swipe your screen from right to left to have those information filled in. Thank you for participating in this study. Then you can save form and exit. So once you save form, then later you can now come and either if there are some other information which you do not fill in, you can always come here and edit the form. Or even starting from there, I'm just checking if all the information have been entered correctly. You can change whenever you feel the information was not good. Then also swipe from right to left, then save form and exit. So once you are done with all the process of data collection, you can always send finalized form by clicking on send finalized form. This one, send finalized form. Then check the box above. Once you check on that, then you can find down here we have send selected. So you can send the selected form and give it time. This can all be done when you're now over Wi-Fi connection. But the tool that is now based on the app or the ODK app or Kobo app, this one you can collect the information you can gather even when there is no Wi-Fi or there is no network connection. You can always collect that information, then later come and submit whenever you find internet connectivity. So once you are done now with that, you can now come back to our tool and refresh. And for initially, remember we had only 3 submissions and you have done another one. So we can refresh and check if submission have been received. So we have a total of 4 submissions. So this data, you can always find it, analyze it, and use can download as the way I indicated earlier and use it for different purposes. Thank you very much for listening into this presentation. Kindly remember to subscribe using the subscription tab below.